Hello, bonjour. So yesterday in my post, I asked you, who are you when you speak in French? And maybe you have different interests, or maybe you have a different way of speaking or behaving. And for whatever reason, I wanted to address this aspect today because there's a point we often don't learn about in language courses or language school. Well, we never talk about it, usually in the classroom. And it's about having a reflection on identity and imposter syndrome. So we often feel like an imposter when we speak a different language, and there are many reasons for that when we feel we don't belong in the environment where we are. So reasons could be because we have an accent and people always ask us to repeat. We don't truly understand the culture we're in. We may understand the surface and the words, but we don't know what's behind it because we haven't dug deep in the culture. And something doesn't feel right when we speak. Could be the position of the mouth, or something doesn't quite feel right and you can never feel at ease when you're speaking that language. You're always self-conscious, there's always something on your mind, and it prevents you from truly being yourself. And you may even feel you're butchering the language, and then you feel even worse about yourself. And part of the reason is because the traditional way of teaching has kind of built this ideal of French in our mind. When you think about it, when you learn French, well, first you learn French, like one French, but there are many ways of speaking French. In France, different registers of language, different vocabularies, different attitudes. It's a multitude of languages, and I'm not even talking about regional French or other kinds of French, like Quebec French, like the French they speak in Africa, French Creole, which is a mix of Creole and French in the French West Indies, like the Antilles. So there really are there's really a variety of French everywhere in the world. It's not one French, but we are only exposed to one kind of French. And what we think is that if you do a random survey on the street anywhere in the world and you ask, oh, describe a French woman to you, what is a French woman like? Oh, she's like Amélie Poulain or Catherine Deneuve, or like basically, well, she kind of looks like me. She's white, she has a scarf and clothes that are, it's not sweatpants and things like that. We have this image of what a French woman is, and it's weighing on us French women as well, because we don't all recognize ourselves in that stereotype. And we'd like to see more people in everyday's representations, and especially in the language learning. I think it's very important for you to go and find that diversity. If it's not in the classroom, just go find it. Find people who look like you, who inspire you. Find people who don't look like you and who present a different perspective. So really get exposure to different kind of accents, different ways of speaking. That way, as you're learning, you'll have a broader understanding of the language, and you won't feel stuck whenever you meet someone who doesn't speak like proper French, like the textbook. If you've been exposed before, then your ear will slowly be more used to hearing a variety of French, and that will help you in the language learning process. So there's one thing with French. There's many things with French, but some of them are that it's a very normative language. So there are rules, and people make sure that we know the rules and we respect the rules. Some people are very kind of arrogant and pedantic about the way they speak and about the rules, and they act superior, so that can fuel your imposter syndrome. And yeah, there's very low diversity, as I mentioned. So we have this ideal of French, and we're never good enough. Even us natives, we're never good enough compared to Académie Française or something like that. But in French, in everything, I think we need less boxes and less strictness about the rules. And we all need to express who we are and to be clear on who we are and our self-worth, and to build on our strength. So if we know who we are, what's important for us, and what are our strengths, then we can do the same in the language learning process. We can focus on what we're good at, what we're passionate about, and then focus on what in the language learning process will have the most impact on the way we speak. So if you like to speak in public and you have bad pronunciation, that's not gonna work. You have to work on your pronunciation. If you like to be very precise in your vocabulary, then yes, maybe you need to spend more time focusing on your vocabulary, or you need to lower your standards when you speak in French. So, as in everything, it's a matter of choices, expectations, and owning the choices you make. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just about knowing who you are, knowing what's important to you, and focusing on that so that you feel better. The whole point of this is not to make you feel bad because you cannot achieve your standards, is to make you feel good and to set realistic standards that matter to you, not to the others, not to the teacher, not to just to you and what you want to achieve. And I'll be talking about that at Language and Mental Wellbeing Conference. It's online. It starts on Thursday until Sunday. My presentation will be on Sunday about how to leverage the language learning process to know yourself better and improve your social relationships. And you can find the link in my bio to get the tickets. You still have 2 or 3 days to buy the tickets. See you there!